Today on the channel, we rank the Marvel Legends controller wave from my least favorite to my favorite, and we build the controller.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Marvel Legends unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we're building the controller Build-A-Figure from the controller Build-A-Figure wave, and we are also going to rank the entire wave from my least favorite to my favorite. But for all your Marvel Legends needs and a whole lot more, hit up Zavi. Use discount code Kyle Peterson to save 10% on in-stock items and 20% on clothing. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to Build-A-Figure, take a look at it, talk about it, and see where it goes from there. How about? We'll do that. But then, of course, like I said, we'll rank the entire wave from my least favorite to my favorite and give some final thoughts on the wave as well. So without further ado, let's build the controller. A big figure, as a Build-A-Figure should be, in my opinion. An interesting one, though, is controller is a guy I'm not really super familiar with. I guess I've heard the name, but I don't really remember back in the day reading a lot of comic books with him. I don't remember him being in any of the animated series. I could be wrong on that, but I don't remember that. I know he did feud with Iron Man a little bit, I've heard. I think the Avengers primarily, maybe S.H.I.E.L.D. a little bit, but just kind of one of those ancillary bad guys that floats around. But yeah, is he a bad dude? Is he a big dude? Is he Dr. Doom? No, not necessarily. But it's cool to get some of these more, I don't want to say, I guess ancillary characters probably fair for him, but it's cool to get some of these bigger guys in things like this. But I'm not sure if there's a lot of people looking for him as far as a Build-A-Figure. Is this going to be one of those popular Build-A-Figures? I don't know. It's not a key character that people need to have, like a Colossus and things like that we've had in the past. But it's interesting. Does enough to be dangerous, we'll call him here. But we got him together. I should mention we did get 2 fists with him, so choose your hand adventure with him. If you want to mix it up, you do have the option with 2 fists. You guys know I always appreciate that. But then we got the controller, just doing his controlling things here, and everything went together. No issues, no loose joints, nothing falling apart on me, so that's always good on these Build-A-Figures. As we all know, some of these guys will fight you from time to time. But he does have an interesting look, but a little bit plain is what I would say. Obviously, the head is the standout on this one. He's got a very kind of broken face, almost looks like Thing, kind of rock-like. Got some lines going on through him, some white eyes where he's just dead inside. But he does brush his teeth on a regular basis, as you can tell. He's got some pearly whites, so that does look good. He's got a nice blue helmet. It's got a nice sparkle to it that transitions down to his shoulder plate, shoulder guards, whatever this is, chest guards. Whatever you want to call that. So it is a nice blue, got all kinds of marbling, a little bit of a sparkle to it. Does look really good. The body has like a bluish purple hint in hues throughout. So it's just a very one color aspect. Almost from a distance, looking at the camera here, he kind of has a Skeletor vibe kind of going on in the color patterns to him. So a little bit Skeletor-esque. Big forearm guards and the matching blue there on both sides. The hands, of course, match that as well. Some crazy swirls in the palms here. I guess I should say the top of the hands. Some crazy swirls. That might vary by person, but man, very weird color dynamics there. So I don't know if that's a paint error or a mess up. I'm not sure. We do got the collector coins here. I have heard, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, these are actually Pogs. He was a big fan of Pogs in the 90s. He's got 2 Pogs in his hand. I believe both of these are slammers, so he's ready to throw down if anybody wants a hot game of Pogs. Somebody can fact check that and leave that in the comments. But I've always heard the controller is a huge Pog fan. Check that for me, if you would. Articulation-wise, shoulders up, down, all around. Shoulders do move through with the chest thing here. Bicep cut. Forearms, you get some side to side there. Not double jointed, but enough movement for a big guy like this. Hands removable, like I said. Head removable. You can move it around. Big, big ab crunch on him. You can hear the ratchet. You can hear that loud and proud. You do get a waist that turns. Careful with the waist, though. The belt is free-flowing, so that does move with it. I thought that was attached in, but it is not. You do get thigh cut. You do get pinless joints on the double-jointed knees. No boot cut, but you do get the ankle articulation, the big articulation there. So not a terrible one. I don't know if it's the worst Build-A-Figure, but it's definitely not the best. I guess we're just going to say it's somewhere in the middle. It is what it is. I do love a big figure. I do love a big villain that we could put a bunch of superheroes around, put them on your Shield shelf, your Avengers shelf, square it off against Iron Man. Kind of like Armadillo, you can kind of do the same thing. He's a guy that's fought a few different people, so choose your own adventure who he faces. When I did see this for the first time in the glamour shots when Hasbro announced it, I immediately thought of course, Thanos. We do get a little bit of similarities. They're about the same size and everything. A lot of the same kind of body parts going on. Very, very reminiscent of the two, especially the top piece that goes over the shoulders. That's where it really reminds me of. But we got to, reuse with kindness there, and that's what I think they did here with Thanos and the controller. So there it is. There's a controller. Somewhere in the middle is my final verdict. But how will he rank in the entire wave, as we're about to break the entire wave out and put him from my least favorite to my favorite? All right, let's finish off this wave. Let's finish off the controller wave as we rank them from my least favorite to my favorite, and some overall thoughts in this wave. Probably somewhere lower bottom out of all the Marvel Legends waves we've had over the last couple of years. I wouldn't say there's any big scene stealers. I don't know if there's a must-have that every collector across the board says, this is a must-have figure for me. Usually that's more popular characters, of course. But it almost feels like a little bit of a filler wave or a deep cut wave. And that's not all bad because, like I've kind of complained on Iron Man a little bit, I'm sick of getting Iron Man, at least as of right now. So it's nice to get some fresh blood in here. It's just not the most exciting blood. So you got to be careful what you wish for. You want deeper cuts? Well, you get something like this. Then you're not happy this doesn't sell well. Well, all of a sudden then we're back to the Iron Man's, Captain America's in every single wave, and I don't think anybody wants that either. So we need to take some of these. We need to support some of these, but I know it's hard to support with inflation and everything else going on. You're not just going to buy. At least I hope not. But in interesting way, we complete a little bit of a team. We get a Herald of Galactus. We get some ancillary characters. We get a character I've been looking for. We get some deep cut guys that I've never heard of, and we get some deep cut Build-A-Figure. So really a deep cut wave. I just don't know how well this wave is going to do at retail, to be honest. I think this one might have a hard time, and distribution's been weird on these as well. Like I said, Zavi, use discount code Kyle Peterson, save 10%. You can get these right now. I don't know when they're going to really hit a lot of the world. It's a very strange wave. The current X-Men wave that's going on right now is really being piecemealed together as well. So some strange times in some of the Marvel Legends distribution, and I guess so is COVID time, so is 2022 distribution on toys right now. Without further ado, let's rank this wave. We got 8 figures when you count the Build-A-Figure, so it is a very big wave here. But I'm going to start it off at number 8, and I'm going to go Madam Hydra. I appreciate her being an A's fan, just not enough meat on the bone for me. Just not enough there. It's just a plain Jane old articulation. Feels very dated. I do like the coloring of the handles on her blasters, pistols. That does look good. Will look good on a Hydra shelf, but by her own, just not a ton there for me. Not a lot of meat on the bone. A little bit plain Jane. She's coming in at number 8. Then we turn our attention to number 7, and I'm going to go Blue Marvel. Now, when I rank these, it's how do I enjoy the figure? Do I enjoy the character? Do I have an emotional attachment? And like I said in the review, never even heard of Blue Marvel until he was announced for this wave. I don't know. Maybe I was sleeping. I don't know. I think he came after my comic book reading time. He's obviously not a huge character that's internationally known to everybody. So just not a lot for me there. That being said, a very good figure. Better than I was expecting. That's always a good thing. But just because I have no connection to him, I'm just going to come in at number 7 for me. That's just the way it's going to be. Now we turn our attention to number 6. I'm going Iron Man number 6. It feels like I'm beating on this side of the table, and I don't put these in any kind of order, but we're going to go Iron Man number 6. Not bad. Once again, better than I was expecting this to be, so that's always an improvement, but it just feels like an amalgam of different Iron Man figures, which I guess if you read the back of the box, that's kind of what it is. What is old is new again is kind of what it said there. But we've had so many Iron Mans. I'm in a little bit of an Iron Man burnout. He was never my favorite character, but hey, for you Iron Man fans, you're going to love this. He'll be higher on your list, but for me, he's just kind of somewhere in the middle, and I'm going to put him at number 6. Now we're into the top 5 here, and where do we go at number 5? Actually, I'm going to go Controller at number 5, and a lot of times, as you guys seen in these breakdowns, the Build-A-Figure is usually at the top of my list, because I love a big figure, but the Collector, just once again, it goes to the deep cut nature. Not a huge fan of the Collector. I mean, I knew of him, but I'm not going to say I'm some deep expert on the Collector. But it is cool we get this, and for all the things I explained in this very video, just doesn't set my world on fire like some of the previous Build-A-Figures and even some of these figures here. But cool enough, always good to get a good Build-A-Figure that's big. That's the best thing that's going for him here. Of course, he does have an out-of-control Pog addiction, as we found out in the review of him. But it is what it is. It's a Collector. He is what it is. He's going to be number 5. Final 4. Who's coming in at number 4 for me? Well, I'm going to go with Quake at number 4. I do really like the 2-in-1 aspect of this, and that's part of the charm for this character for me. But that's also some of the pain, I think, for people, because you got to buy 2 of them to get both versions shown. But I do like this one. I like the Iron Doctor Doom style hands on her on a small body. The updated female articulation is good. Building out your shield shelf is always fun. I like my shield figures more than my Hydra figures. We'll just call it that. But it's an interesting one. It's a character I'm not very familiar with. The 2-in-1 aspect, like I said, is really good. So with all those things kind of rolled up into a ball, she's a little higher than I assumed she would be, and she's coming in at number 4. Now we're down to the final 3. Where are we going here? You know what? I'm going to go... Ooh, it's tight between... I'm going to go Speedball. Yeah, I'm going to go Speedball, number 3. Speedball, a character I've known back from the trading card days, the New Warriors days. Great to be able to complete a team. Just kind of feels like he's there, and I feel like there's just something missing with him. Like there should have been some more to him. I don't know exactly what that should have been, but just feels a little unfinished, and maybe more unfinished as far as the accessory-wise is what I'll say. But a good look. The head is the best part of this. A very good sculpt. I love the glasses, the goggles, all that. Articulation is definitely there. Very Spider-Man-esque articulation. Would have loved the pinless joints. Mixing around with that in this set, too. It just feels like a bit of a transition wave from Hasbro is what this set feels like. But Speedball, going to go good with my New Warriors, and that's where he's going to go. And he comes in at number 3. Now we're down to the final 2, and it was tough between 2 and 3, but I'm going to go Thor here. Not my Thor that I think of when I think of Thor, and probably most of you guys either, but a good figure that feels really good in hand, some good paint apps. I like the spikes. I love the addition of the accessories with the ravens, the translucent Mjolnir. Just a very, very good looking figure all around, and actually a lot better than expected. Will go good with the Galactus HasLab that is upcoming. So Thor coming in at number 2, which leaves US Agent as number 1, and I'm probably very biased because, like I said in the review, I liked US Agent as a kid. I loved the action figures as a kid. Always something special about him. I actually love the character in the Disney Plus series. Maybe I'm an anomaly there. I don't know. But just because of my love for US Agent, finally getting a comic book US Agent in my collection, I'm here for that all day long. US Agent going to take the top spot in my breakdown. But what say you guys out there in YouTube land? How do you shake down this wave? Are you even going to pick up this wave? Let me know your overall thoughts on the Collector Build-A-Figure wave from the latest Marvel Legends wave. Let me know your thoughts. Of course, you made it this far. You might as well like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bell, follow along on Patreon where you can get these videos much, much earlier, bonus content, exclusive content, and giveaways. And best of all, you support the channel. And don't forget to follow me on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. So for the Marvel Legends Collector's Wave, I am Kyle, and I will see you guys all real soon.